Hey everyone, and welcome back to SkillCapped. I'm the King Live, and today we're going to be bringing you the 5 most overpowered agents for solo queue right now. Now, I'm a massive advocate that you can get away with playing pretty much any agent in solo queue and still climb. There are Radiant players who main every character in the game, and as long as you know how to play the character, you can carry with pretty much anyone. That being said, we all know some agents are stronger than others, and these are going to be the agents that stand above the others in terms of performance and ranked. But before we get into it, be sure to let us know who your favorite agent is in solo queue down below. They don't need to be somebody that's even on this list. Everyone's experience is different. I'm wondering who you've all been playing. Jumping right into it though, our first one might surprise you. It's our resident healer, Sage. Sage has actually avoided the spotlight for quite a long time. However, she's actually consistently one of the highest win rate agents in Valorant, and it's for a reason. Sage's wall is one of the easiest bailouts and best abilities for grabbing and denying territory in Valorant. When you couple this with the fact that in solo queue, people don't even like shooting down Sage walls, she can be incredibly obnoxious to deal with for an uncoordinated team. Aside from her barrier orb, her slows are honestly invaluable in solo queue. Where teams will just decide to hard rush sites, she has the ability to instantly shut down any push, which makes her incredibly strong and one of the best agents for competitive, hands down. Lastly, something we cannot forget about her is her res, of course. Sage's res is one of the easiest ways to not only make up for your teammates' mistakes, but also clutch out rounds that you would likely not have been able to win before. There's nothing worse than being at a 1v1 and having the enemy Sage res and make that matchup that much more difficult. Now, for a lot of players, when you think of Sage, you're probably thinking of those crazy Sage wall boosts that you see on Reddit all of the time, and to be honest, those are a great tactic to use. However, they shouldn't be the only way that you use her wall. Although you can get some crazy off angles when playing Sage, it's important to remember how strong her wall can be when used for its actual purposes, which is walling off different territory for your team. Nevertheless, despite the constant nerfs to Sage, she is still constantly one of the strongest characters in Valorant, and that's why she's on this list. And before we move on, if you guys haven't already checked out skillcapped.com, I highly recommend that you do so. We have up-to-date lineups, courses on how to improve with all agents, Smurf commentaries where a higher ranked player walks you through how to carry in your rank, and so much more. Come join over 500,000 satisfied members, improve that KDA, and get the rank you've always wanted at skillcapped.com. Link in the description below. Moving on to another agent that provides something to a team that no other agent does, we have Sova. Sitting at a very similar win rate to Sage, a good Sova player in ranked can be one of the biggest nightmares to play against. And the reason for this is because Sova has the ability to shut down basically any and all types of gimmicks the enemy team could try to pull on you. And because of that, it lets you play the game on your own terms. Basically, your goal as Sova is to give your teammates the information, and then it makes it easy for them to get the kills. Half the difficulty in Valorant is just figuring out where the enemies are, and after you know their location, the rounds become easy. Imagine playing Valorant, but you constantly have access to the enemy's location. The game would be incredibly simple. Well, when your team has a Sova, that's basically what the game is like. When you couple this with the fact that Sova's ultimate can basically be free kills to start off many rounds, Sova is easily one of the best carries in Valorant when played well, and that's why he has to make it on this list. There's already a number of pro players who consider Sova to be the strongest agent in the game, and that's why I recommend if you're looking for a support agent to carry with, I highly recommend Sova. When playing Sova, one of the strongest things you can do early on in rounds is use your drone to help your team grab territory so that you don't have to risk losing a player in early engagements. Also, don't forget to utilize your shock darts to shut down any pushes and grab chip damage onto enemies who may be playing common locations. A lot of players really underestimate how much damage Sova's shock darts can do, and even though he's a support agent, that doesn't mean that he can't frag out in a game. You don't even need to learn a bunch of crazy lineups to play him either. I highly recommend you give him a shot in your games. Moving on though, what if you're not a support player? What if you prefer to just be an unkillable machine and carry the team on your back? Well, if that's what you're looking for, Reyna is still incredibly strong despite the nerfs to her. Now, although her win rate is fairly average right now, if you're a very skilled shot, this could still be the perfect agent for you. She is still the strongest duelist on pistol round because of her ability to get 150 HP, but beyond that, because her ultimate gives her unlimited charges on her dismiss, if you're the type of person to be fragging out in a match, it's not even going to matter all that much that they nerfed her heal down to 2 charges. If you're a skilled shot, you will still run over the enemy team with Reyna, and not only that, but if you don't have crazy aim, Reyna might still be one of the great characters for you. One of the amazing things about Reyna is that she could still play some obnoxious off angles and use her dismiss to retreat to safety, and it doesn't take the best aimer in the world to do this. The whole point of playing an off angle is that it makes your gunfights easier, because you're attempting to catch your opponents off guard. Combine this with the fact that the Reyna nerfs actually made it so you can get her heal off of assists as well. If you're a player who feels like they have average aim, Reyna might still be a character you want to give a shot. The truth is, a character like Reyna rewards an intelligent player almost as much as she rewards a player with crazy aim, and that's why she's on this list. Reyna is by definition the solo carry agent of Valorant, and because of that, she's your go-to agent when you're looking to roll a lobby all by yourself. Moving on to a very similar type of agent though, the one many people probably are tired of seeing right now, Jett. Jett is and probably always will be the best operator in Valorant, and considering the operator is one of the strongest weapons in solo queue because people don't know how to deal with it effectively, Jett will almost always be a fantastic choice for solo queue. One of the great things about Jett though is that she has always been an incredibly good rifler as well, abusing similar tactics to Reyna that we talked about earlier. Being able to stand in the middle of nowhere and then dash to safety is an incredibly frustrating mechanic to deal with, and this level of safety when playing a character is something that makes Jett easily one of the strongest characters in the game. You really can't beat getting a free kill 10 seconds into the round and then dashing away. Beyond that, one of the greatest things about Jett for people looking to carry their team is her knives give Jett the ability to have a rifle pretty much every round of the game. Even when your team is on eco, you can still afford to buy full armor and use your ultimate, and it really gives your team a fighting chance within the round. If your team is on an eco and you drop 3 kills with knives, it really does give your team a fighting chance in those rounds where you have no business winning. And although it is Jett's operator skills that make her stand out from the crowd, if you're a skilled shot and looking for one of the best duelists to carry ranked with, Jett is still one of the best characters in the game for that, and that's why she's on this list. Moving on though to the last agent who I personally play a bunch of, that's going to be Omen. A lot of people may have been expecting Astra to be on this list. With her release, she's an agent that a lot of players maybe have struggled to play against, but there's one big flaw to Astra though that Omen seems to not have to deal with, and that's going to be the level of communication it takes to play Omen versus playing Astra is so much lower. It might just be because Astra is the new character and people are taking time to get used to her, but there are far too many times you'll be using your utility on Astra and your team just doesn't know how to capitalize on it, which is a really rough experience to have as a support player. Because Omen has been in the game a lot longer and is far less complex than a character like Astra, you're able to spend more time in gunfights with your team and less time chilling up in the stars playing an RTS. One major benefit Omen has always had over other controllers though is that he's very good on the fly, and that still has not changed. Brimstone smokes can only be used so far, Astra needs to go into astral form to use hers, and Viper's utility isn't really movable for the most part. Of course, none of this is mentioning the fact that he still has one of the best blinds in the game, which literally can win rounds alone. Omen is just more versatile and adaptable than the other controllers in the game, and because of that, he remains as the #1 controller for the time being. When playing Omen, remember that his biggest strength is his ability to use smokes from anywhere on the map, and try to use this to your advantage to create pressure across the map, even when you may not have any teammates there. Don't underestimate the amount of pressure just one Omen smoke can have on the map. Just denying your opponent's vision is a massive deal. Lastly, remember, if you want to improve, win more gunfights, and get the rank that you've always wanted, then be sure to check out SkillCapped.com. Link in the description below. I hope this video was helpful for you all to select your agent for solo queue. Remember, just because an agent isn't on this list does not mean they are not good. There are a lot of players who have hit Radiant playing nothing but Yoru and Vipers, so you can climb with pretty much anyone, trust me. Generally, when climbing, the agent that you're playing is not going to be the thing holding you back. However, if you're looking to give yourself the best chance in winning these games, these are the 5 agents I would highly recommend. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel to see all of our future videos, and don't forget to answer our question of the day, which is, who is your favorite agent to play in solo queue? As always, I'm the King Live, and we here at SkillCapped want to thank you all for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.